You have now entered the lab, episode 121. Elvis Escobar, Fort Sama. We're recording this on tax day. So if this is the first time that you're hearing that it's tax day, you're definitely too late. So you probably should, hit up H&R Block, hit up, whatever you got going on, because you might be in trouble in the next few weeks.
Nah. Hit up my boy Crimmy. He does taxes, bro. I got y'all.
Or
hit him up.
Even better. Or hit us up. We do have connects. I have a good accountant.
Absolutely.
I've been 5+ years with him so far. No clawbacks, no nothing that I have to regret.
Ray makes a lot of money, so you already know
I make a decent amount of money, and it's a little more complex than the average tax situation. So
Ray makes so much money, he has to donate to his favorite charities so he can write money off, so he doesn't have to pay taxes.
No, let's not put that out there, because let's not put that thought process out there. But if
you can go back on all these episodes and it's just me talking about how much money you actually really make, and you're like, nah, bro, chill.
Yeah,
that's not true. You know what they say? Real people that actually make money don't talk about it. They're just real quiet about it. So.
And there will be something in this podcast that I brought up while watching UFC 300 that it'll so a little teaser on that. But I always file an extension with my tax person, so I never have to pay my taxes until September and October. So if you don't file extensions, you're foolish, because it's out there. So you don't have to pay for 6 more months. Gives you a little bit more time. You just got to file it in time. Hopefully my accountant did. I haven't checked on it in about a month, so I assume they did. Shout out Kick Ass Podcast. I was on That Wrestling Ashley Mann's podcast on Thursday, the episode, 2 episodes. We went so long, we started recording at 7:30. We didn't stop recording till about 9:30, 10 o'clock. 2.5 hours of quality wrestling, pro wrestling talk. AEW in the beginning for the first half, about some controversy they have going on. Second half of that episode, which was split in 2, was about WrestleMania weekend, WrestleMania 40. Great conversations, great vibe, and hopefully we get to have her on. Maybe we'll have her on for the next big show is SummerSlam in August. Maybe we'll have her on just to reciprocate the love.
Oh, so you're doing another podcast now?
You're doing other IG lives without me even knowing. I'm driving somewhere on Saturday. I'm like, oh,
that's a staple.
Just went live. No, I know. Obviously, we're joking. I'm joking, but it was just funny to see it. Oh, we're going live today, I guess. Let me hit this and see what's up.
I'm right.
So it was fun. It was good doing that IG live for 300.
Yeah, no, it's always a good time talking shit with David. I hit him up. I was like, yo, hop on the pod tonight. Motherfucker didn't even text me back about it, bro. So fuck you, David. I know you're going to watch this.
Be your own blood.
You're not going to watch it because you're a bitch. Bro, he just texted me back now, and he sent me a video of chess.com. This motherfucker's been playing chess, just completely doesn't even reply to my text and sends me something totally unrelated.
Oh, my God.
Come on, dog. What's up with you, man? Fuck your chess. You suck anyways.
So hopefully he logs into this chat and he comments, and we'll light him up. Maybe we'll just send him a quick, because we're going to get to UFC 300. Obviously, we got to start off by this podcast. Broward Vintage. Hit the link in all the bios in the link tree. Broward Vintage, men's, women's, kids' clothing, vintage, current shit. Post it. I'm telling you, this is some of the best collection things I've been seeing come across the wire in a while. So the things that are going up, the things that he's posting every single day, 10 to 15 items a day is pretty cool. I think I showed this jersey off a while ago. South Florida. It's just a plain, simple jersey, no name on the back. I think it's you called it the Stephen Curry of South Florida. Yeah. I don't even know if there's a legit jersey, like a university, but it's fire.
Is he posting just on eBay?
Just on eBay. Just on eBay, just doing the whatnots. Obviously, as Broward Vintage, this year is a big expansion year. I think he's doing new things, bringing new things to the table. So you'll start seeing social media go up more and more, and maybe other avenues of being able to purchase his items. But if you have an eBay account now, It's easier than ever. Log on to eBay. I find myself I post things where I take pictures for him to post, and I still go on his account every once in a while just to see what he's uploading and what's selling on his side. So
Yeah,
go shop
we gotta get
Broward Vintage.
the IG popping, the IG stories popping with
Yep,
whatever he's selling.
we do because every single day I pull out things out of the bin and I'm just like, geez, this is fire. Like I just know
Man. Even
it's gonna sell immediately.
when I hop into the whatnot and I watch it, and if you can't buy stuff on the eBay because of how it's priced,
Yeah.
download whatnot and go check that out because that shit there'll be some good stuff on there. He'll have some really good stuff on there, and the auction starts at $1. So
And
some of the stuff
first item is always a giveaway free. So and
yeah.
usually it's not just a bullshit item. Usually it's a pretty quality item, free. All you have to do is pay for shipping.
Yeah, and then I think after the second item, well, once you buy the second item, you don't have to pay for shipping. You only pay shipping on the first item, I believe.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
quote me. Don't quote me. I think that's true though. We'll verify with Ben and Sam, but I think that is a fact. But yeah, I mean, if you can't afford whatever is priced on the eBay, check out the whatnot, download the app. I find myself just looking at random videos or random lives every now and then to just look at it because it's a good app, but auction starts at $1, and I mean some of the stuff goes for under $10, and it's not like shit that you're gonna drip out and we're out, but sometimes it is. But most of the stuff is like nice vintage shirts or dope shirts that you can wear around the crib or wear to the gym, and it's
I
gonna
love
catch
it.
some eyes. It's gonna turn your heads, and you're gonna look good. You're gonna feel good. So definitely check it out, man. Cop some shit.
Bro, 2024, I told myself I'm no longer going to spend money on, I feel like everybody goes through cycles of like either fashion or clothing that at this point I have enough clothes where if I need to be go to a business casual event or a casual event, a wedding, I have enough blazers and dress shirts where I don't need to keep buying more stuff. I was talking to my barber the other day and he's like, "Yeah, I'm about to go on vacation in May and go to like St. Vincent and yada yada yada. I got to go shopping." And I'm like, "You got to go shopping for a vacation? Like, what are you? How old are you?" And I respect my barber a lot, and he probably won't listen to this, so I could say whatever I want. Or I would tell him to his face, because I've been a loyal customer for 8 years now. But it's like, why you got to go shopping? You're a grown ass man with 2 kids. Like, why you got to go shopping to go on vacation? You're just spending more money for what? So it's like, and he does that all the time. So you don't have anything else you can wear that you already have in your crib already. So that's why Broward Vintage, I'm leaning heavily on Broward Vintage and throwback clothing just because it's more affordable and I can rock things that I love. And I don't need any more clothes. Buying clothes year after year is such a waste of money. There's so many clothes that I throw in a bin, I throw in my garage, and I'm like, I probably shouldn't have bought this for $20, $30. Like I've easily 30 items in my house that I'm like, I shouldn't have spent $20 to $30 on. And you do the math, it's a good couple months worth of car payments. If you know what I'm saying. But for Tama, last time we checked up on your week or your life, you were digging deep into a new job, new opportunity, like most people are. Most people are not staying at one job too long, so people can relate to that. Most people are becoming entrepreneurs, having multiple jobs like you. So respect to you. How's that coming about? Are we locked down? Do we have a date that we're starting, etc.? Go ahead.
We do have a date. Well, not
Okay.
really a date, but I got my background check email on Monday. Did it right away as soon as I seen it. Texted the manager. I was like, "Hey, I completed the background check. Let's move on with this. Come on." So he was like, "Thanks, man. I'm gonna do it right now for you." I was like, "Cool, appreciate it." Hadn't heard back from him. Texted him on
Okay.
Friday.
First red flag.
A little bit, but I wasn't too worried about it because we've had good conversations, and he had wanted to get me working there for a little bit, and time just lined up perfect. He was losing one of his full timers, so he's like, "Hey, I want to hire you." So I texted him and was like, "Hey, just give me some kind of time frame on when the background check goes through and everything." He texted me. He's like, "Oh, your background check passed. Everything is good. I want to try and get you on boarded next week." And I was like, awesome. So I can go ahead and give my other job my 2 weeks. He's like, yeah, go
Ooh,
ahead.
yeah. Make sure, like I'm not saying have it in writing, but make sure you're not
Yeah,
cutting your nose, spite your face, is
right.
it saying? Like, don't make sure you cut ties with one before the other one's locked down.
Of
It's
course,
dangerous.
absolutely. But the good thing for me is I wasn't. It's not a job where at this point right now it's kind of just to help me with certain things. You know, I'm blessed. I'm not gonna say I'm not, but it's not the greatest job, and it was just a part time job. But
Yeah.
I was always cool with it. But then the last few, once they like changed my whole pay and fucked with that and everything, and now they did a whole district change realignment, and it's just totally different now, bro. Once someone else steps in and they try to change things to how they want it, and they don't tell you why they're changing it, they don't tell you why they're doing things the way they're doing, and they don't even talk to you at all when they come into your store. I don't respect that,
Red
bro.
flag.
As a
Yep.
Yeah, as a district manager, you kind of want to set the precedent and let people know why you're doing things the way you're doing them
Uh-huh.
and how it's going to be better. And
Communication, yeah.
you want to have your employees happy because at the end of the day, you count on those employees to keep your business going. And I'm sure I know my manager gets bonuses from the store, so I know he's getting a bonus from his stores, and he just wasn't doing that. So I was just
Yeah.
going in there, just not wanting to do much. I was still doing my job and everything, but I was more laid back than normal. But yeah, as soon as he told me that I could put my 2 weeks in, I no, I always do 2 weeks in person just to be professional about it. Most of the time I'll do it like in a letter or an email or something
Yeah.
like that. But the only other time I was going to be able to see her at before today, it was going to be today, and I didn't want to have to wait another 2 days, 3 days to on my 2 weeks. So I just texted her and I was like, "Hey, I want to thank you for the opportunity. You've been very helpful for me. You looked out for me when I needed schedule changes and stuff like that. This isn't anything on you. This is just me furthering my career and getting a better opportunity. But my last day is going to be April 26th. I'll work out this week coming up from the schedule, but if you don't have to put me on the schedule for the week after, I'd really prefer that unless you absolutely need me. If you need me and I
Mhm.
can make it in, I'll try. But besides that, don't put me on the schedule for the next week
Yeah.
after that. I'm chilling. So
Knowing the ineptitude of management, not saying they will, but watch them just completely ignore whatever because management
yeah,
usually is selfish and they'll just do it anyway. And then it's
which
up
is
to you to be
fine.
like, yeah,
Yeah,
to make
I'm
sure you
not pressed
follow up
about
with
it.
that.
I'm not feeling any pressure, man. I'm just gonna go in and kind of just. I tweeted about it. I said, hey, when y'all put in your 2 weeks at a job, do you still kind of keep doing your job how you were doing it before, or do you
Mm.
just chill and coast for the remainder of the time? And normally, how I handle business and I do things, I can't really like coast. Like I'll still do things the way I do them, but based on the past few months, how shit's been over there, I'm kind of just talking slick to people, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
it seems
just,
like you're a good employee, so like you always want to remain in character and make sure you don't burn bridges and make sure you got just in
of
case you got to go
course,
back to it.
that's the
But
only reason
it's a
I even gave them
natural,
my two
yeah.
weeks, just
Hmm.
because you never know what's gonna happen, bro. It could not work out with what I have going on. It could anything could happen, bro.
Yep.
And like you said, you don't want to burn bridges, but
Yeah, be an adult about it.
and plus it's more so for my manager there. Like I said, she was a really nice lady. She helped me out a lot. She did right by me, so it was more for her, so she can have
Hmm.
some peace of mind and try and find someone else. Hopefully she does. But they were fine before me. I'm sure they'll be fine after me. And that's how businesses are, bro. Like nowadays, like you can't really you're a number, bro. When I clock in, I type in a number. And I try to
Yeah,
tell people that you're not typing in your name, you're typing in a number. They give you a number, bro. They're just making up numbers. It's
yeah,
you're not really. It's shitty to say, but a lot of companies preach, "Oh, we're people first. We hire from within. We promote from within. We do this. We do that." But that's all bullshit to try and make those employees feel better and like they're actually part of a company. But the famous saying in The Sopranos, "You're only as good as your last envelope." So
mm,
if you're not
mm.
producing for that company and you start slacking off and you start doing things that you're not supposed to and you change, You can have a bad 2 weeks and you don't let them know, they'll get rid of you like that, bro. They don't give a fuck. People out here need jobs, but people don't really want to work, which is a good thing right now if you're actually a dedicated person and you're just that much better than the next person, you're going to stick out. But I'm cool, bro. I'm cool. I'm going in on Friday to start my
Good.
onboarding. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I've been wanting to get back into sales for a long time, and it's something I haven't done before, selling jewelry. But I'm pretty sure that I'll pick it up pretty quickly because, like we talked about last week, sales is sales. It's just about talking. You sell yourself. So
Yeah, most
I'm
of the
not
time you
stressing
could
it too
copy and
much.
paste whatever skills you got right into whatever that need is, whatever that niche is. It's just about refining and figuring out your flow and, et cetera. So you'll be fine. Obviously, you keep me updated. We'll keep you guys updated because once Fort is going into that new endeavor, it's a part-time job.
Yeah, it's part time.
Okay. But still, obviously, I want to,
It's like 20, 25 hours a week. So,
yeah. So yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
cool with that. Plus I have Publix. I'm getting moved up there. I start getting training for customer service desk next Friday.
Got you.
So everything's been going well, bro.
Yeah.
I'm pretty blessed right now at this moment.
Good. I love it. Like I said, and I kept on, we've been saying for the last couple of weeks, we're going to make sure we take some time off to give Fort time to figure out personal life and business life because that comes first. And then it'll give us a chance to kind of reset as a podcast. And we're going to come back better than ever. There's some ideas already that I've been thinking about that I want to discuss with Fort, but making sure that he's good, we'll make sure this podcast is still quality and still what we want to do. So we want to make sure that you're doing your thing on your own, and then you come back and we can focus. And so I want you to be able to, for at least 4 weeks, figure out that job, become a master of it, and then I know if that's good, then this is good right here in between. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll take some time off and we'll let you know. We'll communicate, so it's not like you'll check in with us and all of a sudden we don't have an episode. But speaking of, we were going to have a guest on. That guest couldn't make it on. It's how sometimes the podcast world goes. Sometimes you book a guest and things happen, and we totally understand. We do intend to have that guest on upcoming. So when it fits for them, we'll talk. But Leeds, we were going to talk about this next topic.
I have been messaging before we get into that. My
Yeah.
bad, I cut you off. I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
been
go ahead.
talking to my boy Dane. I asked him if he wanted to get on the pod. He posted something on his story the other day. It was like 5 questions with Dane. He's a pro arm wrestler, and he's like a contractor now, and he's got a family. And he played college football. So I want to have him on the pod just to kind of just talk some shit with him. He's super Republican, so that would be pretty cool. I talked to him. He said he's down. I told him not this Monday, but next Monday I'll follow up with him this week, see if he's still down. But based on who he is, I don't think he'll flake on us. I just gotta keep following up with him. So hopefully we'll have a guest for y'all next week.
And yeah, we definitely, I mean, we both could do better as far as when we book guests. Don't assume that just because they say yes on a Tuesday that the next Monday they're all the way through just checking in. So that's what I want to change moving forward into the second part of the year is when we book a guest, we make sure that we come through because our best content, our best episodes are with one of them are with a guest because we give something fresh, some new ideas and new topics. But obviously, we're a staple, me and you. I think we could carry that into when we go into a break. But with that guest, we were going to talk about UFC 300, Fort and the Cuban. What do you call him?
The Cuban John Anik.
This Cuban John Anik. I didn't get to watch it because I was driving to a party, and then when we got there, I had to like bring in shit from the car, so I didn't get time to show up on your live. Hopefully, it went well. But UFC 300, going into it, and this is where you're gonna shine most of the time. You don't play anything because it's gonna get taken down. If you want to show little pictures and stuff, that'll probably be better than showing videos, so we don't have to edit it out or anything. But going into it, it's a huge card. Dana White set the tone where all the prizes and all the knockout of the day, knockout of the night, fight of the night, all that was 300K just to match UFC 300, which I didn't know until after UFC 300 started. But there was a big bag, and I, man, the fighters brought it. You could start off with the main card or however you want to go about it, and then lead in and go match by match. But holy shit is what I'm gonna say, and that was the vibe. But you could take it from here and kind of go through the matches, just kind of recap each of them, what you saw, what you liked. I got to go back and rewatch some of them. I meant to right before we recorded, but go ahead and break down some matches for us.
Yeah, if you missed the live on Saturday, I hate that for you. It was a great live with the Cuban John and Nick, my brother. Like we started off this podcast, he's a bitch for not even hitting me back to join us on the pod because that would have been pretty cool. But first fight, we usually do it before the main card. The live starts. We usually do it before the main card, nine something. Main card usually starts at 10 for pay-per-views. But I mean, just given how this card was set up and 10% of the UFC champs, former champs, whatever champs in all time were on this card. So that's insane. Just think about that if you're a UFC fan. Started off with Davison Figueiredo, Cody Garbrandt. Let me just share a screen. My brother put this perfect. He said this was a perfect fight to start this card, even though you could have had like Bobby Green and Jim Miller and Andrade and Marina Rodriguez before, but the UFC, I think, wanted as many people in their seats as possible for this fight, and this was a fight you didn't want to miss. Again, two former champs, Davison Figueiredo, Cody Garbrandt. First round was crazy. They went to battle. Figueiredo won by sub. Great fight. I mean, and then Bobby Green, Jim Miller, again, those two duked it out. Bobby Green won. Great fight. Jim Miller was just bloody, just blood coming down his face in perfect Jim Miller fashion. Like that's exactly what you wanted. Jessica Andrade, Marina Rodriguez. This was a close fight. They both did their thing. They scrapped it out. Andrade got the dub. I thought she would win just because she's got that championship experience. She's been there. I actually picked Marina Rodriguez on the live, I believe, just because, Andrade has been tested the last few fights, but she proved that she's still who she is, especially in that division now because she fights in both. This was a big upset for a lot of people. This fight was crazy. Jalen Turner, Renato Moicano. I love Moicano, bro. If you missed his post-fight interview, go back and watch it. I would share it, but it would probably get taken down and we would have to go back and edit the video, but go back and watch his fucking interview. Jalen Turner knocked Moicano down in the fight, and he didn't follow up. He kind of just turned his back and walked away like he was out. Moicano got back up and was able to knock Jalen Turner out after, like fully mounted him, was just ground and pound nasty. So that's a huge win for Moicano. He'll be in the top 10, maybe top 8 after this fight now. I mean, plus 195, that's good money if you put a little change on Moicano. That was a featured early prelim, which is crazy, bro. That fight could have been a main event on a regular fight night type shit because Moicano and Jalen Turner have both headlined cards before. This fight was quick. If you blinked, you missed it. Diego Lopez is an up-and-comer, bro. Superstar in the making. Clip this. I don't give a fuck. That is not a hot take. This guy is going to be ranked. He knocked out Sadiq Youssef. Again, ranked in his division. This was fast, bro. This was real fast. It was this was a good fight to watch. Holly Holm, Kayla Harrison making her UFC debut. This was much awaited, and I said this on the live. I'll say it again. So much respect for Kayla Harrison. She is a big woman. She walks around at like 160, 170. Her judo weight is 171, which is insane. She's a gold medalist, and she made 136. So that goes to show how fucking insane she is and just how much of an athlete she is. She subbed Holly Holm. She'll probably have another fight after this one, and then she'll probably get a championship fight because I think the UFC just wants to fast track her to a title shot just because of who she is in the MMA world and combat sports. So I think give it one fight, and then she'll get her title shot. This was a snooze fest, bro. I hate it for Calvin Kattar because he's just so exciting. It just wasn't that great of a matchup for him. Aljamain Sterling is probably one of the most boring fighters in the UFC. I don't know what it is with him, bro. I don't know, man. He just wants to wrestle people. He thinks he's from Dagestan or something. I'm not with it. And he moved up in weight. Now he's ranked, and I mean, he's probably the bantamweight goat. You could say that, but he's just boring, bro. He doesn't sell fights, and this is probably why they put him on the prelims. Why he wasn't on the main card? Because I fell asleep watching this fight. I'm not even gonna lie. I fell asleep, and I was pissed that I fell asleep because I missed this right here. Yuri Prohaska and Alexander Rakic. Prohaska came back. I got to rewatch that fight. Knocked out Rakic, just banging, bro. Just, bro. There was a tweet that I saw that had me cracking up. It was like, who needs proper technique and striking when you're fucking autistic? And Prohaska, bro, like I don't know how he gets it done. He was former champ. He'll probably fight Jamal Hill next, who lost to Poatan, but I got to rewatch that fight. I can't really give you much because I didn't watch it. I missed it, unfortunately. This right here, I mean, Bo Nickel, Cody Brundridge. I don't know. Bo Nickel's good, but he's just, I don't want to say he's just a wrestler because that would be disrespectful towards him. But, I mean, Bo Nickel did his thing. He subbed him. Rear naked choke, I believe it was. I mean, if you look at the odds, minus 2,100, that's insane. You can kind of just go off that. Bo Nickel will probably be ranked, hopefully, in this next fight. I don't know what's next for him. I'm glad he got the dub, though. He's got a good story. This broke my heart. This really broke my heart. It was a close fight. Charles Oliveira and Arman Sarukian. It was a very close fight. I don't know how Sarukian didn't go out at the end of round 1 and at the end of round 3 when Charles had him in the guillotine and in the arm triangle. That shit was tight. But I think he won just because of ground control. He did his thing and held Charles down. When they were on the feet, it was pretty even. Again, I don't really know what's next for Charles. It kind of sucks because I don't know if he'll get a title shot soon now. I did hear some stuff of him fighting Max Holloway for the BMF. That would be fucking epic. I'm here for that. So, I don't know. Saruki is probably going to get a title shot now. He'll probably jump up to number 2 or number 1 in that lightweight division. That division's stacked. This right here, bro. If you missed this fight, I feel very bad for you. This was one of the most epic fights I've seen. Not even just fights, but finishes in a long time. These two dudes, this is the perfect BMF fight, man. Bad motherfucker out there. Gaethje, Max Holloway, two dudes that just don't really have regard for human life and they just want to scrap. That was so perfect. And the fact that Max was, and this was a 5-round fight. They made this a 5-round fight because technically it's for a title, whatever. So that was awesome in its own right. But Max being up maybe 3 rounds to 1 in that 5th round, and then going to the middle of the fucking octagon, pointing down on it to Justin Gaethje and saying, all right, let's give these people a fucking show after we just had a show, and they just swinging for the last 10, 15 seconds, and then Max just fucking knocks Gaethje out with 1 second left, and Gaethje just face plants on that octagon, bro. Are you kidding me, bro? My girl was sleeping. She was sleeping, and I woke her ass up. I was like, oh my fucking God, what the fuck? I got up, bro, fucking running around the crib, screaming and shit. I was like, this is insane, bro. I've never seen something like that before. It was crazy. Max stepped over him. He was talking that shit. His post-fight interview, he's like, I'm him. And then he dropped a bar. He's like, there's a matador out there that's running away from the bull. I'm here. Talking about Ilya. They moved the fucking camera to Ilya, and Ilya's just standing there like, fuck. Bruh.
This is one fight that I will put at least my 2 cents in is in the first 3 rounds of this. I was we were at my boy Zach's house. Great vibe. I put a picture up on my IG. We had everything going on, Masters, hockey. We had UFC going on, and obviously, you know, when a lot of people, I think we had over 20 people there, and you know, conversations are had, and I was having a deep business talk with somebody in the kitchen, and somebody was like, all right, Gaethje and Holloway are fighting. And I'm thinking, all right, we'll get out there eventually. And I think by the time we got out of the kitchen to go watch the fights, it was already in round 4. Thank God that conversation ended. Well, first of all, the conversation was great, so I don't regret it. But good thing I was able to watch from round 3 after that, because once I got into the living room, I locked in, and the one word I kept on using is what we use in wrestling is like holy shit, holy shit. I was chanting that for at least 20 minutes after it, and Dana White reciprocated and said that was the greatest holy shit moment
He
in UFC
posted it.
history.
Dana
Yeah.
White posted it
And
himself.
I was saying holy shit the whole time, and I'm telling you, I've never been. I've now what, year 3 or 4 watching UFC consistently. I've probably watched every pay per view, most UFC fight nights, and to watch 20 to 25 people just at the same time, hands on top of your head, holy shit, looking at each other like, did we just see? Did that just happen? It was it was an insane moment in sports history, combat sports history, and UFC history, and I'm blessed,
Yeah.
to use Holloway's phrase and kind of mantra is I'm blessed to be able
Yeah.
to watch that transpire, because that was amazing. Everything that you want in a fight, let alone a BMF fight, is you want to watch 2 people stand in the middle, 10, 15, 20 seconds left. I say it in boxing all the time. Like, I wish we got more of this where, like, 2 guys, even if you know you're going to win the fight, you stand in the middle and you just go at it. Obviously, that's not realistic because, if you're winning the fight, you definitely don't want to do that. But it's for the BMF champion. And for years, it's been talked about as a gimmick belt. It's been
Facts.
almost like a WWE belt, if you want to make comparisons, where it's like, doesn't mean anything. This match made BMF title, and most of the time, it does take a little time or a couple fights to make something legitimate. When you make something and you're as creative as UFC and Dana White, he said, I don't give a fuck what you thought about the BMF title, whether you thought it was gimmick. I knew, and I think it's something that we should do, because only the hardcore of the hardcore, the guys that will stand blow for blow. It's not a submission fight, so nobody that's going to fight for the BMF title is going to be a submission fighter. That title is meant for standing up 90 to 95% and going blow for blow, and this established the BMF forever. Obviously, is this the 3rd time it's put up? The first time was Nate Diaz, Masvidal. Second time was who? Gaethje and Poirier.
I believe so. Yeah.
And then
And that's
maybe
when
third time.
Gaethje dropped Poirier.
Yes, and it's been great since. Let's not look back at the last couple or a few times it's been defended. This title has been legit as it is, but this just took it to another level. And that's all I have to say about that, because this put that belt on the map. And now we're going to be able to look back at this fight and go, this is exactly what the BMF title was envisioned to be. And yes, it doesn't have a weight. It doesn't, the pure merit of this title is in the title. Bad motherfucker. Only the bad motherfuckers can, and everybody knows it's kind of like a subjective term, but when 2 people are going in the ring. So you're gonna see this, and there's no weight class for it. I guess it'll stay in a certain weight class for the most part, in this pound for pound. But
55.
yeah, it's gonna stay there because it makes more sense. Heavyweights aren't as much, and maybe it will be. Maybe they'll make another one, but man, I'm so happy for that title, because when I first learned of it, I was like, I don't know if this is going to hold up, but this solidified exactly what the UFC wanted. And moving forward, it just gained much more merit and importance because of this fight. So shout out Holloway. I've been a big fan for him. I love the way he fights. Man, gets beat up, but he puts out a lot more dishing as much as he gets in his face, because he goes to battle ever, and so does Gaethje. And Holloway had a lot of great things to say with Gaethje, and he was like, this might be the last time that I'll share octagon with him. So respect to him for giving his flowers to Gaethje and vice versa. So phenomenal. Can't say anything bad about it. I can't wait to go back and watch it because I have a website that I can watch it before I have to buy it. But holy shit, that's
Yeah. I want to give a big shout out to Luis Gross Photos, man. He captured this fucking moment just perfectly.
Wow. This is the first time I
Look
see
at
that
these,
photo too.
look at these photos, bro. You see
Yeah,
blood just spilling, bro, and look at Max's face.
and they were brawling, and Gaethje was
They were.
getting hit prior to the same round, and during this exchange, he was coming with it. He was not trying to just act. And like I said, this is the difference of like when you watch a fight back, or you watch two fighters and you go, "Wow, destroyed." I almost want to give as much acknowledgement to Gaethje as Holloway because it like takes a lot to be down 4-1 or 4-0 at that point or whatever it is, to accept the point in the middle of the ring and accept it and come to the middle of the ring. He didn't have to.
No.
So just like I talk about in wrestling, because that's how I compare it. When you in wrestling, sometimes you lose in a fight, but that still makes you better because the way you lose and it's predetermined. I get it. But in UFC too, you could lose in a match and you could still go on to have contender title because the way you lost is so much more bravado and so strong that no one's gonna look at this as Gaethje got mollywopped and
No.
dominated. They're gonna look at it like he held his own, so he could challenge anybody moving forward.
Facts. Yeah, I mean, dude, I that fight was just crazy. I don't think I've seen a buzzer beater knockout like
One
that. It was
second when his
just
head hit the mat, 1 second left.
yeah. And then Mark Goddard even tweeted. He said, "I wish the UFC would release my mic'd up moment because I was screaming for 20 seconds after that." And he said, "I don't ever show emotion like that after a knockout, but I was in the moment, and that was such a great moment. I've never been in something like that." That I would hope that they would release that. And that'd be pretty cool too, just to see like a ref's reaction to someone getting knocked out right in front of you, dude. That's got to be insane.
Didn't his reaction at first go
Yeah, he
like
was
kind
like
of, he had a
he's
natural
screaming.
reaction to
He was
that.
like
Yeah.
knockout, knocked out, knocked out.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I was reading his list in the
He had
video.
a he had a
Insane.
human moment as a fan watching it
have to,
like,
bro.
oh wait. Yeah. And then they panned out on the crowd and all the crowd did exactly what we all did, hands to the head.
Human cobra.
Holy shit. Love that, man.
Yeah.
So, and it's funny because even Dana White said it, and I agree with him. Knowing that there was 2 matches after that, it was kind of hard to like
title fights.
breathe. Kind of hard to
title
breathe
fights
and like,
after that.
"Oh, we gotta watch 2 more fights." So it took at the party I was at, it took at least 3 rounds into the next fight to really like gather yourself to be like, we gotta watch more fights. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, I mean, like you said, great fight. I hope I hope Max stays at 155, even though he'll probably just try and get that belt at 145 against Ilya. It'll be cool to see, but
Yeah, he's so humble, man. He's so humble. In the biggest defeat that you could pull,
baby.
You could pull it out and just say whatever you want, and nobody would blame you. He was still humble. I watched him on Pat McAfee today. They interviewed him for 30 minutes plus. He's still who he is before the fight, after the fight. It's just like that's who you want representing your sport. And yeah, the mantra, the nickname "blessed," literally he lives it. He lives it. He breathes it. And you know, his girl also proves it too that he's blessed. He's ultra blessed. I'll say that.
Him and Gaethje, they're both blessed.
Oh, I seen a picture. I seen a picture when it comes to that too today, and I was like, "Oh, you blessed too, my man. God bless you."
Right. So the fight after that was
Yep.
Zhang Weili and Zhao Zhao whatever her name is. Dude, after the first round, Yan was unconscious. She was out, bro. You could see when she was trying to get up that she like kind of fell forward, and then she even like was wobbling like they're trying to get up. And they were saying that Zhang Weili is probably the first fighter to win by knockout, submission, and decision in one fight because that's how good she looked. But I mean, Yan looked really good too. So like you were just saying, just because you lost doesn't mean that you're done. Like, she's still
Mm-hmm.
gonna contend, but
They were calling
Zhang
this
Wei Li
the
is
commie fight. The commie fight. Every time I was
right.
like, "What
Yeah.
fight's up next?" They were like, "The commies are fighting next." I was like,
Yeah,
"Wait,
the
what?"
CCP fight. The
Yeah.
CCP. Yeah,
I
I
was
mean,
dying. I was dying.
yeah, it was a great fight. I mean, Wei Li is tough, bro. Wei Li is very, very tough. She showed it, and so did Yan. I mean, they went at it. Yan had some moments in that fight where she like had Wei Li, kind of knocked down, and they were wrestling, and she turned her around, and it looked for a moment that she could be back, but I
The only
she's
female
that's a
card on the
tough bitch.
main card too. Both.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the height of both of them. 5'5", 5'4", like small little nothing, just going to
Mm-hmm.
war.
Going to
Love
war,
it.
exactly. So yeah, Wei Li's probably gonna hold that belt for a little bit. I don't see anyone beating her in that division just because of how dominant she is, and she's been tested before. So Wei Li's tough, man. Wei Li's tough. And then the main event, man, I was just this shit was crazy. These two dudes were talking shit to each other. Jamal Hill was always talking shit. That's just how he is. There was a cool moment between them before the fights during the week where he walked up to Pereira and had him sign his jacket and shit, showing some respect, because he was a champ. I mean, he's the champ of the division, and he was the middleweight champ as well. So he's got two belts, but there's just something about Alex Pereira when you get in the octagon with that dude and you're actually staring at him. I mean, even Israel Adesanya said it. Like, this dude is big, bro. Like, he's big fighting against him. He's got a big ass head. And pause. And he just looks menacing. Like, he shaves his head before he shaves his face. There was a video on it. He's like, I'm going to war. This is what I do. And then when he faces you at the weigh-ins with that fucking face
he's
paint
intimidating, man.
and the tribal stuff or whatever it is,
Yeah.
his fucking feathers, I don't know what it's called, but bro, he's an intimidating ass motherfucker, and he shows no emotion. Like, he's
Somebody
just looking into your fucking soul, dog.
Somebody at the party told me, and I kind of already knew this, but it reminded me, whereas I don't know if it's where he's from, but in the why he is like the indigenous people in Brazil. Like, most people don't know that there's motherfuckers that live in Brazil, parts of Brazil, that are living as if it's year 1000, like 1205. Like, there's people that have no technology, don't know what it is. And I learned this from Joe Rogan's podcast, but somebody that I was with is a super nerd about UFC. And I don't know if, I don't want to speak misinformed, but I don't know if that's where Pereira's from, or why he, how he is, his lineage. But there are people that live that lifestyle that people, in the rainforest, and they're completely what humans lived like 1,000 years ago. And it's funny because we talk about like how we're taking down the Amazon forest and ripping down trees. I'm like, we need those people, because if the world goes to shit because of nuclear wars and this and that, we need those people to actually like be who they are, because those are the only people that are going to keep the human race moving forward after we're gone. So it's important to keep those people living on their own. And I heard that bit of information at the time. I'm drunk, I'm fucked up, so I'm like, damn, it made me think like there's actually people out there living like we used to live back in the day. And I, like I said, I think he said that's where he comes from, or maybe his lineage is from. But it's crazy how when you think back of your people, and we've heard your story, my story about our ancestors, but like there's certain ancestors that are still living in the rainforest, like bows and arrows, hunting for their food every day. Don't know if they're gonna live past that week. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean, and he does a lot of fucking hunting, and he's still got a bow and arrow and shit, and he practices that shit in his backyard. There's videos of him doing that shit, and just this dude is just very humble, and he doesn't give a fuck about a lot of things. And every time he's in a video, he's wearing his UFC gear. I don't think he has any other
He's
clothes
nuts,
besides a
right?
white t-shirt, jeans, and everything else is just UFC stuff that's been given to him. He's always fucking shirtless wearing UFC pants. Like, bro, do you have any other fits, dog? Like, he doesn't
He
give a
lives
fuck.
it.
And I knew this fight was going to be close just because of the two dudes that were fighting, Jamal Hill and Alex Pereira.
Mm-hmm.
But, bro, that shit was quick. And Pereira got kicked in the dick, got kicked in the nuts. And Herb Dean stepped in, tried to stop it. And Pereira was like, bro, chill. I'm good. Let me cook. And 2 seconds later, Jamal Hill's falling down with his eyes rolling in the back of his head. Gets up like 3 seconds later, like, where am
And
I?
it's crazy because it was a perfect location for a punch where usually in UFC, when you see guys of that stature get punched, it's usually like an overhand or a straight. That was like almost like a overhand,
Dude,
but like
he
almost a jab left that
he
just
didn't
cocked
even
him
like
at the
connect
perfect.
fully. He didn't even
He
connect
did it,
fully. Like
yeah.
you could see, like it just like grazes him with like a few fingers. Bro,
It
I don't
did.
even
It
want to
wasn't a
know.
pure flush. That's how much
Yeah,
power he's got, and that's
I don't
how
even want to know
quickly that
what would
punch
have
got to his
happened
face.
to Jamal Hill if he would have connected clean.
Yeah. And it's
It
funny
would.
because after you usually my gripe with UFC is usually like even in a couple other fights prior, I forget which one it was, where I'm like, yo, ref, call it. Usually I'm not yelling at the ref, call it, call it, call it. I think the Oliveira fight, you could argue that he had him submitted, and then there's a little controversy there I've seen on the internet. That fight, he knocks him down, out, and it looks like he's out, and then Pereira, just credit him, he just kept on clobbering him and he knocked him out. Like Hill came back to life for a little bit, started to defend himself, and Pereira still was giving, hands to the face, and he knocked him out. And that's how you knew that fight was over. So credit Herb Dean, credit the referees from this weekend, because we do criticize early stoppage and stuff like that. They definitely made it a point to make sure that whatever fighter was incapacitated before they stopped the fight. So I give it credit. It's better to let a fight go on a little bit more than a little less. I understand the safeties of the fighters, but sometimes you got to let these fighters brawl out of it. I've seen highlights of Brock Lesnar recently. He fought somebody that I forgot who it was. It was a main event fight for the belt that he probably should have got knocked out, cleared. They let the fight go on because he's Brock Lesnar. He'll fight out of it, and he wound up winning the fight. So sometimes you got to let the fight go on a little bit later than you want. And, I'm glad the referees did a great job.
Audio. We got leaked audio. They released the audio of Mark Goddard. Like I was just saying, I'm only going to play that part. So hopefully it doesn't get taken down.
Okay.
Whoa! It's over! It's over!
All right. Wow. All right. Hopefully, good by you by finding it and making sure, because if it's short enough, probably it won't get taken down. But man,
but yeah, I mean, after that, we got some great fights coming up in the summer. I just shared it with my brother. I'll tell y'all right now. We have Poirier, Dustin Poirier, getting his title shot against Islam Makhachev. That's Saturday, June 1st. Same night, we got Sean Strickland versus Paulo Costa. That's going to be a banger. And then we got June 22nd in Saudi Arabia, Robert the Reaper Whitaker versus Hamzat Chimaev. Fucking banger again, dog. And then this is what everyone's been waiting for. We've been talking about this for almost 2 years now.
Yep.
Finally, we're getting it. The return of Conor McGregor, June 29th in Vegas against Michael Chandler. I mean, dude.
I'm going to be in Myrtle Beach that day too. I heard Dana White. I immediately wrote it. I wrote it down in my planner, and I looked at what date, because I always try to schedule my weekends, and I'll be in Myrtle Beach for that first night. So we're going to see each other the night before that, and that'll be the first night I'll be in Myrtle Beach. Unfortunate because I won't be with my boys, my friends, whatever. I wish it was the day before. Maybe I could do something to prolong that, but that's going to be the first. Yeah, maybe we'll make change plans, because it's not set in stone. But man, I'm going to be, so right now I'm going to be watching it with my now brother-in-law, so I'll be able to watch it with him, and we'll order it, or we'll stream it, whatever we have to do. But that's going to be crazy. Obviously, McGregor is stop what you're doing and watch a McGregor fight.
Yeah, even casuals and people that don't watch UFC every fucking weekend are gonna tune in. McGregor's a household name. You know McGregor. Everyone knows who Conor McGregor is. So
Yeah.
that's UFC, bro. We talked about that
UFC,
for
man.
half an hour.
Holy shit. No, I love it, dude. That we had to spend
We had
time
to
on
for
it.
300, bro. Of course.
And that might be one of the last main cards that we'll ever see like that. So we
That
have
was
to
a perfect
celebrate
card.
it and bring
perfect
attention to
card.
it. Dude, it was to the point where, like, obviously you see the card, but then when they're making their way out, I'm looking at the main card and I'm like, every single person, at least one person, most likely two, have been in either a main event of a UFC pay-per-view, co-main event, or a main event of UFC Fight Night. It was an insane card. So,
dude, everyone on that fight except the opening fight of the main card was either a champ or an interim champ.
yeah,
Charles has been a champ. Gaethje interim champ. Max has been a champ. Weili's champ. Then you got Pereira's been not double champ, but he's been a champ of 2 divisions. Jamal Hill was the champ. He didn't lose his belt. He had to vacate it. So it's not like you had a guy that lost his belt in a fight. He vacated it because he tore his Achilles. And he came back quick after that Achilles, which is a lot of athletes like final thing. When they tear their Achilles, you're like, all right, that motherfucker is probably done. But he turned around 8-10 months and was fighting again. And he had broke his toe 2 weeks before that fight. And they just, not Joe Rogan, Dana White just found out that day at UFC 300. So,
oh yeah,
props to Jamal Hill. Yeah, I did the fucking, what's her name? From ESPN that had Dana White on his podcast and called him Joe Rogan. Fuck, what's her name?
Yeah. What's her name? The light skinned black chick.
ESPN.
I can look her up quick.
Yeah.
I was gonna look up something quick. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I'll look it up in a second.
I was looking Joe Rogan. He's like, did you just confuse me with Joe Rogan? Like, do you not?
No lie. Right now? I was gonna look up the TKO stock, and I have it in front of me because WrestleMania was last weekend, which annihilated every record, money wise, viewership wise, sponsorships, on fire. We already talked about it. I did 2 podcasts last week that talked about it. I looked them up just now. Going last week, it was at $96.97. After today, it's at what is it now? $100 even, and it went up $3, $4 in a week's time. Yeah, TKO just obviously UFC and WWE, like, they just put back-to-back WrestleManias on back-to-back weekends. Like, the both brands are thriving. They have great people managing and developing both sides, Dana White, Triple H, and oh man, we're spoiled. I'm telling you, if baseball goes down and NFL, it's like at least we got combat sports and still entertainment on another level. So it's like we're gonna be good. We're gonna be good if a couple sports tend to go downwards, because you never know with sports. Just because they've been around for so long doesn't mean we all want to watch them. So, UFC talk, man. That was that was a very good weekend. Just to get into, as we record this on March 15th, Monday night, the WNBA draft just happened. No surprise to anybody. Caitlin Clark went number 1 overall out of Iowa to the Indiana Fever. Angel Reese went number 7 to where'd she go? Chicago. Right? Chicago. Let me make sure I got this right. Just want to make sure. Why doesn't it even come up quick? Wow, that's bad. Yeah, she went number 7, I believe, to Chicago. So, WNBA, we all knew that Caitlin Clark go number 1 overall. They're trying to make the women's game great. I think they're going to expand. I thought about it. Like, they're trying to make a 14th team eventually. I could see a team coming down to South Florida, or at least Central Florida, Orlando, or South Florida here, and being a big deal as the I keep saying WWE, WNBA expands. But yeah, Caitlin Clark went number 1 as we
I'm
expect.
trying
It's
to
crazy.
find.
It's crazy how quick the women's college ends and right away WNBA, and then the season starts a month from now. So it's a very quick turnaround. So unlike NBA where you have like a whole summer to like regroup, but these women they're back at it immediately. So shout out them. With the NBA, look up what you got to get, But NBA
found
playoffs
it.
start this week. Play-in matchups
Fuck, where'd it go?
are this week. I'm gonna look up. What is it? The Miami Heat will play 8 plays 7. So the Sixers play the Heat. Chicago play Atlanta in the East. And then obviously Boston, Pacers, Knicks, Orlando, Milwaukee, Cleveland. In the West, you got Oklahoma City. Actually, I take that back. It's not those matchups. It depends on the play-ins. So scratch that. But play-ins as far as now, because then they get reseeded. I forgot how it works. New Orleans, Lakers, Sacramento, Golden State. We have quality out West. Not so much quality in the East, but we'll see where your Heat go. Do you feel confident that they could get past Philly? If not, they'll have to play winner or loser, whatever, how it breaks down of Chicago, Atlanta. So I think they'll eventually – I think you guys should have at least make it out of the play-in tournament.
I mean, it all depends on how Embiid is. If Embiid plays, I feel like we should win. If Corey's still in, he could comment.
Well,
Sixers fan.
The positive is at least if you lose the 7th and 8th play-in, you play one more time. So at least you'll have 2 opportunities if so. So, and then you don't want to play Boston. Boston looks like a juggernaut, huh?
Nah, give me Boston, bro. What the fuck?
All right. I guess so. You're the Heat, so I can't doubt you guys. If you're gonna shock the world like you guys usually do, be an 8 seed and shock the world with Boston. That's probably the best. But I prefer you guys to be the 7th seed, so you can knock the New York
Milwaukee?
Knickerbockers out. No,
Oh yeah, Milwaukee.
you play the Knicks.
Yeah, the Knicks.
So
yeah.
I would, I prefer, like, selfishly, I prefer you guys to win the first round so you could play the Knicks, and then I'm all Heat. Heat versus Knicks. Let's go. I would love to watch the Heat, and I'll be a Knick. I'll be a big time Heat fan for the next 2 weeks.
Damn, I lost a tweet, man. It was they were breaking down Caitlin Clark's contract for her first 4 years. It's like, oh, man, it was like 70-something thousand a year, and then her 4th year is an option, and it's like 89,000, something like that. So yeah,
she's making way more in endorsements. That's where endorsements come in key.
So she's gonna have to live below her means.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. So Caitlin Clark, rookie contract, 4 years, 338,000. 2024 this year, 76.5. 2025, 78,000. 2026 it jumps a little bit, 85,000. And then 2027 is an option. Doesn't say whether player option or team option. Probably a team option. And then $97,582. That's her contract for 4 years. I mean,
yeah, it's I
don't
like
know what
most
the
people,
WNBA's like payroll and shit is. So,
bro, some people will say it's unfair, but they only most of the time, players get paid what the league gets paid. So it's a trickle down effect. So the league isn't making money, and the league was struggling for the last decade. So we'll see how it gets, and it will get better. But you got Caitlin Clark leading Angel Reese and some of the draft picks that were picked this year that will only make the women's game better. So we'll see how it all shakes out. Next topic, as we're moving along into the second hour, let's take a quick pause on sports-related stuff. We did learn earlier in the week, O.J. Simpson passed away. He was tweeting as early as like a few weeks ago, and he's always been in the news. He's a lot of controversy of how ESPN was going to cover that and how people were going to deal with it. Obviously, a lot of jokes on Twitter. Amazing, as Twitter does. They always make the best content in controversial ways. But what was your take on OJ finally passing, and then we could almost close that chapter, move on. But the legacy, and I don't say legacy in a great way, legacy football-wise was phenomenal, one of the best running backs of all time. And then one of the quote-unquote worst people of all time, personally, that got proven innocent, but we all know how that worked out. What was your take when you heard the news?
I was indifferent about it.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a Bills fan, or I'm not a Bills fan or anything like that, but he's been pretty locked in on the social media since, I guess I want to say
He
the
knows
last
how
4
to
or 5
take
years.
he knows
since
how to take opportunity, you know what I mean? He knows how to take
Yeah.
advantage of opportunity.
Right, like
So
Broward
he's never
Vintage
shied
said,
away.
if the glove doesn't fit, you must have quit.
Hmm.
But I mean, I don't know. I'm indifferent about it. I was never an OJ Simpson fan. I didn't have any hate for him. I always joke around with people and stuff when he
Of
is
course.
brought up, and people talk about like, oh, he's a murderer, he's this, he's that. I'm like, what are you talking about? He didn't do it. Like, OJ's innocent. What do you mean? Like, he got acquitted.
I will say he got more love than I thought he would. When I say love, attention in a not bad way. And then there's always people on social media that are like, don't forget about the people, this and that. And I get it. And I completely open-minded and I understand that. But he's a polarizing figure. And, there's a lot going on. So it's not as, he lived almost, you would say, 3 lives. His football career was one. The death and the murders was one, and then his post. So whichever you decide to glorify or celebrate or not celebrate, it was pretty interesting to see the week. Or it only lasted like 24, 48 hours, and then it went away.
Yeah, one of my all-time favorite OJ Simpson moments right here. Hold on. Why is there no audio? There we go.
Andrew, look, what did I do to you? You could have retired an hour and a half ago before I picked you in my fantasy picks. I mean, what did I do, baby? I've been a fan of yours. Why would you do this to me? Come out of retirement. I'm just saying.
I
will say I will blame OJ's league manager for that, because I don't know exactly when Andrew Luck retired, but that's why as a league manager in fantasy baseball, I always schedule our draft the day before the season, because you never know what injuries and what decisions may happen. So that's a great clip.
Also said that Chloe has now lost three father figures in her life.
Oh fuck.
3
Who's
fathers.
the third?
Well, so you got.
I got Rob. It. Yeah, I got
it. Then you got Bruce. He turned to a woman, and now you got.
Yeah,
OJ.
I got it. Wow.
Dog, that was one of the funniest tweets I've ever seen.
That took me a second.
Whoever tweeted that, bro, creative ass motherfucker. You need to do something else with your life if you're not doing something like creative writing, because that shit was fucking hilarious, bro. I seen that and I was dying laughing. I'm like,
that's
bro,
a good one.
No way.
Oh man,
that was a great one.
Woo. All right, yeah. Shout out OJ, whether you agree or not agree, but hey, he left his mark.
I mean, yeah, he had iconic moments in his life. Bronco driving down, all the cars chasing him. He's in the car with dude saying he's gonna off himself on the phone with his lawyer.
I will say the ESPN thing they did, I think it's a 4-part series. If you haven't watched it on OJ, it's amazing. It breaks down the person he was before the NFL, during the NFL, during the trial, and after the trial. It's very good. I watched it with Bree like years ago when we first started dating, and I probably got to rewatch it because it was very well done. It kind of sums up everything. You get all parts of OJ, which, like I said, I'm not celebrating. I'm not glorifying anything whatsoever. I'm just saying these are the facts, and I've been entertained by it. So RIP to everybody.
He was usually
Let's say that.
Florida. Yeah, T's and P's, thoughts and prayers.
T's and P's to everybody involved, past, present, and the future. Let's get down to allegedly. Yeah. I mean, in the court of law, he didn't do it, but he definitely did some other shit, or that too. Some quick news on some sports related topics. The Jets got some new unis. Did you see the Jets' new unis? Obviously,
No.
I wrote it down only because I'm a Giants fan, and I wish the Giants got some new uniforms. It's time for to freshen up and be new and old regime. But the Jets did get some new unis. They got a new logo. They went all throwback, like a modern day throwback, which is kind of cool. The Jets logo with the jet in it. I love that logo. They kept the same Jolly Rancher type helmet, and then they went to the throwbacks with the color scheme. Third unis are black. A lot of NFL teams are going to similar to like NBA with Nike.
NFL teams are going black.
A lot of NFL teams, correction. A lot of NFL teams are going to a throwback uni, kind of like the NBA does with Nike. And then they're also implementing a lot of helmet changes and stuff like that. I know you're a Dolphins fan, and Dolphin fans love the throwback unis. I think they need to
be regular. Yeah, that needs to be their regular jerseys.
Yeah. Most people agree with that. That modern throwback
players agree
is
with
always
that
the
too.
way. Yeah, I think you'll see a lot of teams go to that because there's something in the '90s, whether it's baseball, MLB,
Bro, even all the
baseball,
vintage
basketball, and
stuff is
football.
back. Keep that
Nike
shit up.
is. I think that's what they're doing. Nike wise, I think Nike with NFL and basketball, they're realizing what works, what doesn't. They're doing a lot of throwbacks, seeing if the fans respond, and then they're making a modern version of what the throwbacks were. So I wouldn't be surprised in the next 5 years, most NBA teams, most football NFL teams have like a modern twist to what they were in the 90s. The Houston Texans, I'm a big uniform nerd. So the Houston Texans are getting new unis. Detroit Lions are getting new unis this year. The Jets just got one. The Jaguars are doing throwbacks to what they were 20 years ago. So you're going to see a lot of fun stuff. And obviously uniforms, jersey sales, it all makes sense. It doesn't cost the team much to do it because you could manufacture them according to how they produce. But hockey playoffs start next week. I'm going to be all in. I'm saving my physical and mental. I've been taking a break to the partying and whatever because I know every time the Panthers play, I'm going to be lit. I'm going to, I don't have to watch it.
What? Bro, you just talked the last two podcasts how you've been fucking faded every weekend.
Well, not every weekend, but weekend just includes one Saturday. That doesn't include the whole weekend. I'm not hanging out on Friday. I'm not hanging out on Sunday. It's one day. It might be
always like I'm recovering today.
No, today I feel great. Today is a dawn, of a new day where I'm learning how to recover my body. Went to the gym for the first time in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Baby. First time going to the gym on a Monday in probably like 3 months. Usually Monday I'm like making excuses. Nice. So the gym the rest of the week, trying to get my body right. I had a talk with myself, time and place. Obviously things happen. I'm living life. So I can't, I don't want to live in regret too much because I am living, and this is a time in my early 30s that this might be the only time I get to do shit like this. So I have to live in a way without killing myself. So
I'm
hockey playoffs, shit, bro. No, I love it. No, hold me accountable, please, to those words because hockey playoffs start, and that's going to be a fun time. Panthers are cooking and booking again. They are going to probably play the Toronto Maple Leafs, which is a big rival. They have home ice advantage.
Toronto.
Another MLB news, John Sterling, the long-term radio person that I grew up listening to, is retiring immediately. He's somebody that before I was able to stream in early 2000s, I was listening to on a radio, on my grandfather's radio, that I still have to this day, not here, but in New York. I was listening to it on like a nice little stereo radio, whatever it was, and just listening to games when I couldn't watch it or stream it on a phone or when I was out and about. So John Sterling means a lot to me, and he means a lot to Yankee fans. He's the voice of the New York Yankees, so he's retiring after literally 60 years of broadcasting games, which is crazy.
It was on AM, the radio.
AM, man. Yeah, I listened to. I think I brought
WQAM.
I think I brought this up to you. I listened to one of the Florida Marlins Yankee games in my mom's car on a radio. So not on the radio in the car, but I brought my own radio with the antenna and everything in 2003. And we went to like a wedding or like some type of celebration or wedding or something in New Jersey. And you could tell my early fandom. I was at that time 13 years old, 13. And I was like, no way. I think I went in and I came out. I sat in my mom's car, listened to the Marlins and Yankee game on that same radio. And I have it at my mom's house, which I probably should text her to bring. So I have that memory. But I listened to him, and that was the voice of the Yankees. And then the only other sports-related news I have is that it came out and it's been developing. The translator for Shohei Ohtani, IPPEI MIZUHARA, has been charged with stealing more than $60 million. He was the one betting. He was the one taking money from Shohei Ohtani. It wasn't Ohtani making bets. And we said this at the same time we talked about Diddy. Basically he's FBI. He turned himself in. They have text. They have all the evidence they need. What was the final verdict that you seen? That was that you believe everything that came out?
I'm not buying that at all.
Still,
not one bit. I'm not buying it, dude. Not one bit. No, absolutely not. Because one, that's his best friend. Supposed to be best friend.
But he's translating all of it, and if you have an addiction and you're trying to conspire against somebody, you're gonna make sure that you keep church and state
numbers
separate.
Are numbers.
I know, but
numbers don't lie.
You're right. Oh, then blame Ohtani for one thing. Blame Ohtani for giving too much trust and too much responsibility to one human being.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Absolutely. Okay. And then they showed Ohtani's contract when he was with the Angels, and it wasn't a lucrative contract. It wasn't hundreds of millions.
Nothing too crazy. Yeah, nothing too crazy.
It was like $48 million. Just his baseball salary. We're not talking about whatever endorsements or whatever he had. So you mean to tell me, let's say you have, let's put it in our terms. Well, my terms, because you're mad rich. You're in a different tax bracket. So let's put it in my terms, bro. If I have $48 in my bank account, which is actually kind of what it is right now.
Jesus Christ, God bless you.
And I see $16 missing, and I don't know where it is, bro, I'm going to be like, what the fuck? That 16 goes down to 32. I'm like, where the fuck are my $16? That's what, 1/4? 1632? No, that's 1/3 of my money gone.
Wait, 1632 is half.
48.
Oh, 48, yeah, third.
Because that was his contract.
Gotcha.
$48 million. If I see $16 of my $48 gone, and I know that this dude that translates for me.
No, you're right. He
has some kind of access to my money in my bank account. He's going to be my first suspect. And I'm going to be like, bro, where the fuck is it? You're going to tell me that Ohtani is going to be one thing is being, okay, cool. It's gone. I can't get it back. I don't know where it went. But bro, we're talking about $16 million. You're going to realize that's gone.
He gave a lot of credit. Yeah. That's his negative. He's passive. He's too nice. He's too trusting. But like I said, this translator, we don't know the relationship. This person,
and he sucks at betting.
He pried on Ohtani. Maybe he was just very good at working his way, and humans are gonna human. I've said this a couple podcasts ago. Humans are gonna human. Sometimes they're very good at making you believe whatever you want, or gaining that trust and knowing you have an addiction or something you want to do, and they're gonna keep that going. So I think the only thing Ohtani is guilty of is being a nice guy, too trustworthy, and letting somebody take advantage. And I guarantee you that won't happen again for the rest of his life. So
I think
small price to pay.
Betting was like,
well, not a small price to pay. It's a big price to pay, I guess you could say. $24 million total.
IPPEI's total net loss.
He's not getting that
from
money back.
gambling was 48 million, 49 million, something stupid.
Yeah,
like
he's
that.
not getting any of
How
that
are you
money
that
back.
bad?
That's for sure.
All right, let's get into some ratchet shit.
All right, yeah, that's all the topics I have. So you could go as we wrap up episode 121 on Enter the Lab. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, commenting. Follow us on every social media. Follow and subscribe to the pod on the ETL YouTube channel. Go ahead, Fort.
So we kind of started talking about this last week. We were talking about J. Cole being a bitch, and I still stand on that.
Okay.
And him apologizing about what he said, his little diss track to Kendrick and whatever. And the whole week we were waiting for Drake to respond. I think that's what the rap world was waiting for. I even put in my grill to talk about this shit, my team grill. I'm going to take it off because I can't even talk with this shit. I don't know how motherfuckers be talking with their grills. They got to be perm or way better than that shit. We were all waiting for Drake to drop, and he finally dropped a diss track called Drop and Give Me 50. And fucking Ben's funny. He said someone had a lot of fun writing Drake's diss. Bro, chill on Drake, bro. Chill on Drake. But we did say, you know, how Kendrick was saying the big three, it's just Big Me. I mean, him, J. Cole, and Drake are kind of the big three in the rap. But Drake had some bars on here. Have you heard it?
I have not.
Have you heard it? I'm not gonna play it obviously, but I did find a tweet, and it's dude responding and referencing Drop and Give Me 50 diss track, and it's like a thread.
Ooh.
Yeah, and right here we got Drake saying, "I could never be nobody #1 fan. Your first #1, I had to put it in your hand." And then he got Side by Side, and it's this from feature Metro Boomin on his new album. Feature saying, "You a N-word #1 fan, dog."
Whoa.
And then Drake replied with this. And then we got this. He came at everybody. He said, "I'm the hit maker y'all depend on," which is true. You put Drake on a song, everyone's going to listen, everyone's going to tune in. And then you got this whole thing right here, Drake's stimulus package. Drake assisted 32 artists to their highest Hot 100 positions at the time.
Fact.
They jumped an average of 19 places from their previous peak. 6
Fact.
he assisted multiple times. 18 artists had never charted before the Hot 100. 6 songs assisted multiple artists at times, and then assists per year. Yeah, all these artists right here that Drake hopped on, pause on their song. He did all this shit. Look at Lil Baby, 65. Romeo Santos, 34. And then this one was pretty cool right here. Where's it at? This one right here. Maroon 5 need a verse. You better make it witty. Then we need a verse for the Swifties. And you got fucking Kendrick when he was featured on Maroon 5 and Bad Blood with Taylor Swift. I thought that was pretty fucking funny. He went at Kendrick's throat, bro. He went at Kendrick's throat. This one right here. Where's it at? Oh, he said something about right here. I'd be with some bodyguards like Whitney. If you don't know Whitney, that's Kendrick's wife's name. There's allegations that she might have cheated on Kendrick with his bodyguard. Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Now we're
And then-
making it. Okay. I didn't know that stuff.
Dude, this one was pretty good too. Where's it at? Now Rick Ross is in it. This one was funny. He goes, "Hey, shout out to the Hooper that be busting out the gritty. We all know who that is, John Morant. We know why you mad, N-word. I ain't even tripping."
N-word.
And then John Morant quoted something, "Once you pick a side, stay there." And then he said, "Stay on that side." So, I mean, people always make fun of Drake being mad emotional and this, and that, but he'll come at your throat, bro. Over here, all that little heartbroken Twitter shit for bitches and Metro Boomin all started 2 days ago before the album dropped. And all these
N-word.
416 numbers would call me.
I like
so
that.
bad I had to keep my phone on airplane mode. He got mad calls from Toronto, Canada.
Jesus.
So,
You know, I
real
just
rap is
want the
back.
good music. I'm not even trying to pay attention to all the back and forth. I just want the music because all this is just like, it's cool. Like I look at the Nas, the Jay-Z beef back in the day, which was legendary. I look at the 50 Cent and Ja Rule and Fat Joe, and that was all cool. But it came down to music. So I'm only looking forward to the music and the song. So I'll just wait to jump in and pay attention I want music. I want bars, but I want music that's quality. I don't want a couple like I want like how Drake went at Meek Mill and he made that song into a club banger. Basically, I remember being
Yeah,
down here
back
when
to
I first
back.
moved down here, back to back. Dude, I was at what place was I at? I want to say the word mansion, but I was at some club down here that probably closed since, and they were playing back to back as if it was
On
a
repeat.
on
Back to
repeat,
back
dude.
was on
It was
repeat
so
at
big. I
clubs,
remember
bro.
being a club 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was in Miami when I first moved down here, and it was that's the shit I'm looking for. So I'm
Yeah.
really not going to pay much attention to anything social media wise because Kendrick's not going to put out anything social media wise, so they're going to have their fun. It's all about the bars, all about the music for me.
This was pretty good too, because Top talking about TDE, Top Dog Entertainment, told you drop and give me 50 likes on push-ups, huh? And then this right here, Kendrick Lamar announced last August that his next studio album will be his last with TDE, putting an end to a nearly
Yeah.
2-decade-long membership or partnership. So, I mean, yeah, no, that shit was funny. Drake, that was I'm gonna have to listen to that song again, but I hope. And now Rick Ross is in it, talking
Yeah,
about
Rick
Drake
Ross
got a nose
apparently. Yeah.
job, and Drake's just having
What
fun
the
with it, bro.
fuck?
Drake's having fun with it. He posted some. It's got to be a fake screenshot because there's no way that Drake's mom is texting him saying "obs."
No
Why are
way.
they saying on on social media that you got a nose job, bro? Like, and then,
The fuck?
yeah. This is funny. They're just having fun with it, bro. There's got to be some kind of ulterior motive to this besides them just talking shit on the internet. Like, they're probably gonna drop some kind of music together later on, and we're all gonna be like, "What the fuck? This is the craziest song in forever. We haven't heard anything like this." It's gonna be like a J. Cole song featuring Kendrick and J. Cole, or Kendrick and Drake, and we're gonna be like, "Oh my fucking god, the beef is over," type shit. So I'm not buying it, but
It
it's
is what
fun.
it
It's
is.
fun for social media. It's good
Yeah.
to see all this.
But yeah,
Whoever's
I don't.
doing all this is fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
Just
there's
these
fun
fucking
for
threads.
social media that I like. I don't like this back and forth because other people intervene, and I'm not saying
Yeah,
I
because
take.
your favorite rapper ever is getting cooked, getting fried. He's percolating.
No, he's not getting fried on anything that's professional level. All this social media talk, all this memes, and all these other things are just extra. It's like that doesn't mean you win. It's a matter about music. So all I'm looking forward to is Kendrick's next album, and he'll do it in his most artistic
Probably on your
way.
50th birthday.
Hopefully, that's why I love him.
Shit.
But what do you want to end on? What do you got last licks on?
Just, I don't know, man. I feel like people are way too consumed with thinking about the future. And that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think the best thing to do is, yeah, you kind of want to have some plan and you want to set goals. And that's good. You want to have ambition and you want to be an ambitious person. But the last few months, bro, has kind of just been, I've really just been living in the moment and taking things day by day. And it's gone pretty well. It's gone pretty well. I'm happy. I'm really good where I'm at. And I think people don't sit down and realize how blessed they are and how good they have certain things. Like, yeah, things could be shitty, but 9 out of 10, maybe 10 out of 10 people that I talk to on a day-to-day basis, they have reliable transportation. They have a job. They have a roof over their head. They have a house that has electricity, AC, running water. They have drinkable water. They're able to put food on the table. They're able to just provide for themselves. And I hear it all the time, man. I hate my job, or I hate this, or I hate that, bro. You don't realize how many people, and I don't want to say Cuba because that's where I'm from. That's biased. But there's a lot of shit going on the other side of the world in the Middle East and shit right now. And shit's about to get really scary with Iran and Israel and all the drone strikes and everything like that. And I still see shit every day. We're not really talking about it anymore, but shit is not good, bro. And I think people just need to sit down, take a moment for themselves, and kind of just have a better attitude towards a lot of things because it sounds cliche and it sounds fucking dumb. But dude, when you sit down and you have a positive attitude for things and you're just looking forward to your day, like, hey, oh shit, I woke up this morning. I get to eat breakfast. I get to fucking do this. I get to go to work and meet new people. And bro, you're a product of your environment, yes, but at the end of the day, you're selling yourself, and you can create opportunities for yourself based on the energy that you put out. If you put out negative energy and you're shitty and you're just pessimistic and you don't have anything good to give someone else, nothing good is going to come your way, dog. Dead ass. And that's a fact. And I don't care if you don't believe me. Try it. Try it
Yeah.
for 2 weeks. It takes 2 to 3 weeks to break a habit. That's what they say. I don't know who
Yep.
says it, but that's what
I
they
think
say.
21 days, they say,
Yeah.
which is
bro,
basically, 2-3 weeks.
Yeah. You start changing your whole mindset on things. And bro, I go into work every day. I'm mad positive. People look at me like I'm fucking nuts. I walk in there and I'm like, good morning, everyone. How y'all doing, beautiful people?
Yeah.
What's good with you? Hey,
People be
I call
hating
them
you.
sir, ma'am,
Yeah.
sir this, sir that, Mr.
Or got the
this,
hate
ma'am
because
this.
he's a good
Bro,
guy.
and it's just like people don't, and that's the thing, and that's how like I'm looking at it now, because I'm like, yo, why are people looking at me crazy when I'm just fucking putting
Not
good
everybody
energy
likes
out
a
there?
good,
Because
good positive person.
it's not normal.
It's not.
It's not normal, bro. And I feel like we would be much better as a society if we just put positive things out there. Like, bro, you know how refreshing it is to have someone that's positive and well mannered and just a happy go lucky person, bro. That's so much better than someone who's just
It's
like,
not the world we
fuck
live in.
off. No. So I mean, I don't even know why I just went on that.
Yeah, I didn't know either, but I was gonna let you rock.
I don't know why I just thought about that, but I mean, it's just ever since I've been doing that, bro, a lot of good things have been happening to me and
Keep
coming
it
my
going,
way.
brother.
I'm just gonna keep doing it. It's worked the last like 2 months, bro. I'm just
Hell
kind
yeah,
of just
brother.
taking things day by day, figuring shit out. Like, yeah, I'm not in, I had to take a pay cut with, getting laid off from my other job. It was consistent. It was good. I knew what I was doing. My bills were good, but dude, I'm not fucking worried about that shit right now, bro. Like, it's gonna come. If I keep doing what I'm doing, good things are gonna come my way, and I know that I'm blessed and highly favored. And also, now that
Ooh,
we're on that,
girl.
and because the fuck, and because I know, bro, I just said that because I know my mom prays for me all the time, and my dad prays for me all the time.
There you
So I
go.
want to give them a quick shout out.
There
They
you
went to
go.
El Salvador. They went to El Salvador this last week. And I can't remember the last time my parents took a fucking vacation because they
Mhm.
really can't, bro. They're fucking trying to do
Grinding.
things for themselves, grinding all the fucking time, bro. So they finally got some time off, man. My dad is sending all these pictures of them just living their best life in El Salvador.
Hell yeah.
My dad's on zip lines. They're on fucking jet skis. My mom's taking all these pictures. They're fucking living their best life, man. So shout out mom and dad, bro. I hope that you guys get to do that all the time. I hope that I get to be someone sooner than later where I can fucking sponsor that shit and y'all don't have to pay for that yourselves. I hope I could just be like, here, take this money, go do whatever the fuck you want, take my credit card, do this, do that, go live your best life, and they don't have to worry about shit.
Hey,
That's my ultimate
You're working
goal
your
in
way.
life, bro.
You're making your way downtown.
Walking fast, faces past,
Oh yeah.
and I'm homebound.
I like that little rant from you. We'll close it out on that.
You gotta give us something now, bro.
No, I can't. You said it perfectly. I was agreeing with you wholeheartedly the entire time. So I appreciate those wise words.
I hope that gets clipped on the fucking AI shit. It's like I hope it does because I just want to see what the title is.
Yeah, right. Continue to lock in with us. We appreciate you guys. Subscribe. Thank you, Broward.
That's next week. That's next week. I don't give a fuck who it is. I'm gonna figure it out.
We don't care. We'll figure it out. We'll harass people.
We'll have someone.
We'll have some fun.
He can't.
Nobody's listening at this point. It's an hour and a half in.
Man
Nobody's
said we'll
listening.
harass people.
Episode
goodness.
121. Elvis Escobar, Fort Sama, enter the lab, exit the lab. Peace. Appreciate y'all.